Hey guys, it is 7 days till he is risen. And the verse is Luke 19, verse 10.
For the Son
of Man came to seek and save the lost. The lost. I said lost. But, okay, so it's me, John, from Bible Fun with the Duns. Today we are reading a story from the Jesus Storybook Bible. And, well, let's get to it. Okay, so first we're reading The Man Who Didn't Have Any Friends. So basically Zaccheus. There once was a man who didn't have any friends. None. Do you have any friends? Well, of course you do, but not Zaccheus. Poor Zaccheus didn't have any. You're probably wondering why. Was it because he was so short? That's not a reason to not like someone. Was it because he had a name that was hard to say? No, that's not a reason either why you should not like someone. Even though he was short and he did have a funny name, that wasn't it. No people didn't like Zaccheus because he stole their money. Zaccheus collected taxes. Taxes were what people had to pay the king. But Zaccheus took more than he was supposed to and kept extra money for himself and made himself rich. Everyone knew what he was up to, and it made them cross and grumpy. They didn't like Zaccheus one bit. So they made sure he knew it by doing all the things like avoiding him and walking on the opposite side of the street and pretending not to see him and whispering things like, "There's that nobody who thinks he's a somebody," out loud so he could hear. Anyway, one day a huge crowd gathered by to see Jesus. Jesus was coming to their town and everyone wanted to see him. Zaccheus wanted to see Jesus too, but everyone was too tall. He tried jumping up and down, but that didn't work. He couldn't see a thing. Luckily, Zaccheus had a good idea. "I'll climb that sycamore tree," he said. So he did. He was surprisingly good at climbing trees for a man who was unusually short. That he had to take a flying leap to just get into his chair in the morning. From the tree, Zaccheus had the perfect view of the way down the road. Another minute, and suddenly Jesus was at the tree. He stopped and looked up. Zaccheus saw Jesus. And Jesus saw Zaccheus. Zaccheus, Jesus said, I'd like to come over to your house." Zaccheus almost fell out of the tree. Come over to his house? No one ever wanted to come anywhere near his house, let alone inside it. Then the people saw this, and needless to say, it made them even crosser and grumpier than usual. They mumbled and murmured and muttered. Muttered, okay. Why is Jesus being kind to that big sinner? Doesn't Jesus know about him? Zaccheus scrambled down and looked to Jesus and took Jesus to his house. He was in a big hurry because he didn't want Jesus to change his mind. Perhaps he hadn't heard about him. Perhaps Jesus didn't know about how he had been stealing. What was that?
That's your dog. It's okay, keep going.
Perhaps Jesus didn't know that he'd been stealing and how no one liked him. And he saw how he didn't have any friends. But Jesus knew. He knew all about Zaccheus and the stealing and everything. And he still loved him. Zaccheus was ashamed. "Lord," he said, turning pale, "what I've done is wrong, but now I want to do the right thing. I will give all the money back 4 times what I stole." Gosh, that's a lot. Because if he stole like $20 from someone, then he'd have to give like $90.
$80. 4 times.
"My friend," he said, wait.
Jesus smiled.
Jesus smiled. "My friend," he said, "today God has rescued you." Jesus loved Zaccheus when nobody else did. And he was Zaccheus' friend. Even when no one else was. Because Jesus was showing people what God's love was like. His wonderful, never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always forever loving love.
The end.
The end. Okay, so you might know the song to Zaccheus. Zaccheus was a wee man, and wee man was he. He climbed up,
He climbed up in a sycamore tree for the Lord
he wanted to see.
And as that Savior passed the way, he looked up in the
tree, and he said,
"Zaccheus, you come down.
For I'm coming to your house today. For I'm coming to your house today. For I'm coming to your house today."
Excellent. So remind them how many days until he is risen.
There's 7 days until he is risen. The verse is Luke chapter 19, verse 10. "For the Son of Man came to look and save the lost."
To seek and save the lost.
Okay.
Tell them, see you tomorrow.
Bye. See you tomorrow.